Alright, welcome to another On-Base Baseball game. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of On-Base Baseball. In this game we are going to start the 1980 National League Championship Series between the Houston Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies. I'm going to get right into this one because I'm a little short on time, but this was played October 7th, 1980, and we are replaying maybe all 5 games. The ALCS went 5 games, with the Royals winning in 5. For the visiting Astros, it's going to be Rafael Landestoy, Enos Cabell, Jose Cruz, Cesar Cedeno, Art Howe, Woods, can't remember, Gary Woods maybe? What was his name? Gary Woods, and Luis Pujols. Craig Reynolds gets a start at shortstop, and then Ken Forsch is on the mound. Forsch, right-hander, can go 29 batters, 3.52 FIP, 12-13 record, 3.20 ERA, and 222 innings. For the hometown Phillies, it's Pete Rose at first and leading off, Bate McBride in right, Mike Schmidt at third, Greg Luzinski is hitting fourth and playing left. Manny Trio is at second base. Gary Maddox in center. Larry Boa is a shortstop. Bob Boone is catching, and lefty Steve Carlton is on the mound. He was 24-9 in 1980 with a 2.34 ERA and 304 innings pitched. Had 286 Ks and 304 innings. So let's get this one started, and it'll be the first inning. Steve Carlton goes out to face Landestoy, Cabell, and Cruz. A 24 to Landestoy is going to be a double play or strikeout. So get this one started with a strikeout as Landestoy gets caught looking, and that's going to be out number 1. Enos Cabell to the plate. Cabell, a tall, long third baseman. A 35 is going to be another strikeout. This one also looking, as Carlton getting things started right with a couple of strikeouts. Jose Cruz to the plate. Cruz playing in left field in this one. Now 23 is going to be a ground out with an error check, so it's a ground out to second base. No error on the play. And go 4-3 on the put out. That is the second baseman Trio, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Steve Carlton as we head to the bottom of the first. Still no score, and for the Phillies, they get their first crack at Ken Forsch. Leading off is going to be Pete Rose. Batting first in this one, he's got a 26. A 26, it's going to be a miss here. So 26 is going to be a ground out that goes to the shortstop. No problem at short for Reynolds, who gets the start. Brings up Bate McBride. Let's see if some of these are off here. McBride is a left-handed batter. I have to go back through and double check those just to make sure everything is a-okay. 22, so I'll be looking here for those because these are correct. 22 is going to be a double or a triple. This is a 7, so that's going to be a 2-bagger into the gap, and McBride will pull up into second with a 1-out double. Brings up Mike Schmidt, the all-everything third baseman. 53 batting runs in 1980. Also played at a 12 defensive level, which he had a 9 WAR, 172 weighted runs created plus, 286 average, 48 homers, 121 RBIs. The 35 is going to be a walk, as he'll fill in behind McBride, and there's now 2 on with 1 out, and the bull, Greg Luzinski, to the plate. Luzinski also not left-handed, so he's a right-handed batter. He actually hit a 2-run homer in the actual game, which was the game-winning home run. Turned out to be in the 8th inning, I want to say. I watched the game today. 26 is going to be a ground out. That's to the shortstop. I'm going to take the fielder's choice at second base, which means McBride goes to third. That'll be out number 2. Schmidt's out at second base, and it'll be Luzinski at first on the fielder's choice. So runners at the corners with Manny Trio coming to the plate. Trio playing second, 292 average, 7 homers, 43 RBIs. A 14 is going to be a walk, and that's going to load the bases. Forsch having some issues here as we get the bases loaded, and Gary Maddox coming to the plate. Maddox playing in center field, just a minus 14 batting runs, not great. So let's see if he can come through. That's actually made a ground out that goes to shortstop, and with 2 outs, we'll just go ahead and make that throw to first. And across the diamond, that's out number 3. And quite a bit of trouble there for Ken Forsch, but he gets out of it with no runs. We go to the top of the second. No score. It'll be Cedeno, Howell, and Woods for Houston. Not a lot of pop in this batting order for the Astros. Joe Morgan sitting this game out. I believe he comes back for game 2, though. Cesar Cedeno, 309 average, 10 homers, 73 RBIs. A 36 is going to be a walk off of Carlton's card. And Cedeno is a 7, so he's a 1-7 to make the steal to second. Let's see if he gets in there. He does. That's going to be a stolen base for Cesar Cedeno, and he is at second for Art Howell. Howell, a nice year, 11 batting runs, 283 average, 10 homers, 46 RBIs. 45 is going to be a long single. He's not very fast, but that is going to drive in the run from second base as Cesar Cedeno comes in with the first run of the game, and it's Houston that gets on board first. 1-0. There's a runner at first, and Gary Woods comes to the plate, playing in right field. 26, that's going to be a grounder out in front of the plate. Going to make a good throw to second base, and that's going to peg that runner for the first out, but it's going to go nowhere else. So 2-6 on the put out as they only get 1. Nice play there from Bob Boone. Luis Pujols to the plate. He's the catcher for Houston. 55, that's going to be a foul out, and that will be a foul out down the right field line as the right fielder comes into foul territory. That's Bate McBride, and he makes the catch just in foul territory, and that'll be out number 2. Runner's going to hold at first base. Brings up Craig Reynolds. 1-0 is our score. 2 down and 1 on for the Astros. A 15 is going to be another ground out as this one's hit to short. The shortstop is Boa. Boa with a good throw to first, and that gets the runner at first. 1-0 is our scores. A hit to the bottom of the second inning. The Phillies will send up Boa, Boone, and Carlton. 35 is going to be a strikeout as Larry Boa goes down on the Ken Forsch curveball. Not a lot of strikeouts, only 84 in 222 innings, but he does have a few up his sleeve. 25, that's going to be a fly out. That is down the left field line. Coming in hard is the left fielder Cruz, and he gets a glove on it, but it bounces out, and that's going to be an E7. Tough play out there for Cruz coming in toward the line. We're going to go ahead and get a bunt here from Carlton, or 1 or 2. It will be unsuccessful, a strikeout. Otherwise, it is a successful bunt. That's a good sacrifice hit. That'll be out number 2, but it does move a runner into scoring position with 2 outs. So we'll see if Pete Rose can even up the game here. Rose basically a league average batter. But this is going to be a base knock as he hits one into the hole in left, and that's going to be an RBI single for Pete Rose as he drives in Bob Boone from second base. That ties the ball game at 1. We are tied at 1, 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Bake McBride doubled in his first at bat. He is going to pop out here. That's a pop out to short, so we'll go P6. And McBride is out number 3, but Philadelphia gets the run back. We're tied at 1 as we go to the top of the third. It's the 1980 NLCS, played October 7th, 1980. Steve Carlton will face off against Forsch, and then back to the top with Landis-Doy and Cabell. A 12 is a ground out. That's going to go to the shortstop, no problem. At short, as Forsch is out by 12 steps, and that's going to bring up Rafael Landis-Doy. 247 average in 1980 for Landis-Doy, playing second in this game. 26 is going to be a ground out with an error check, so it's a grounder to short. Bo is going to make the play, and that's 3 grounders in a row that Boa has made the play on. Good shortstop, Larry Boa. Excellent fielder. Not a great hitter or hitting season in 1980, but good enough for sure. Enos Cabell to the plate. He struck out in his first at bat. A 23, though, is going to be a walk. So Cabell at first, and Jose Cruz to the plate. Normally I might try to steal, but I'm not going to steal in front of Jose Cruz. 2 down, and Cruz is going to fly out down the left field line. Let's check Luzinski. Luzinski, that's going to be an error on Luzinski as well. So matching E7s, and we're going to give him that extra base because there's 2 outs, and that puts runners at the corners for Cesar Cedeno. Cedeno, he is playing center field in this one. And a 25 to Cedeno is going to be a fly out. That is to right field. We'll check Bake McBride. He's going to make the catch, and that's going to quell the threat here in the third. So Houston gets runners to the corners, but they can't get anybody in. We're still tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the first, or the bottom of the third. Leading off is going to be Schmidt, Luzinski, and Trio. Schmidt with a double as he lines one into the gap in right center field. Going the other way with it. Schmidt winds up at second base. He's now 1 for 1 with a walk and a double. Brings up Greg Luzinski. 14 to Luzinski, and he is going to walk. So we fill in behind him. That puts runners on first and second with nobody out. Forsch looking for a fast inning, but definitely not getting it here. 36 is going to be a base hit. And let's go ahead and try to send Schmidt. He's a 1-6 to be safe at home. I think it would have... a 10 is actually okay, right? So he's going to get thrown out at the plate. So we'll just say 9-2. I think it was hit to right field. So we're going to say 9-2. That's out number 1 as he gets thrown out at the plate trying to score on the Manny Trio single. We had rolled a 10. I forget. It's 1-10 for the base running. I tend to forget that. 25 is going to be a fly ball. This is out to left field again. And the left fielder this time, Cruz, is going to make the play at the line. And that will be out number 2. No advancement from the runners, as Maddox is the second out of the inning. Brings up Larry Boa. He's the last hope here for the Phillies to drive in a run. 15, though, is going to be a grounder. That's hit right back to the pitcher. Forsch is going to take it, throw it over to first, make a good throw, and that is out number 3. So 3 innings are in the books. We're tied at 1, and this one has a good start written all over it. Top of the 4th inning. Houston is going to send up Howe, Woods, and Pujols. 23 is going to be a ground out. That is to the first baseman. Let's see. There's no error on the play. So a little flip to the pitcher covering. And that's going to be out number 1 as Howe now 1 for 2. Gary Wood stands in against Carlton. A 13 is going to be a ground out. That goes to the third baseman. Third baseman is Mike Schmidt. He makes a good throw to first, and that'll be out number 1 or 2. Luis Pujols to the plate. Here's a fly ball. He had a fly out, sorry, in his first at bat. He's going to actually double here as he hits a 2-bagger into the gap. And it rolls all the way to the wall, and Pujols will be safely into second base. He's 1 for 2. Brings up Craig Reynolds. Reynolds playing short. A 24 is going to be a strikeout as he gets caught looking on a curveball from Steve Carlton, and Houston strands a runner in scoring position. We head to the bottom of the 4, still tied at 1. This is the 1980 National League Championship Series. Still on the mound is Ken Forsch. Forsch will face off against Boone, Carlton, and then back to the top of Pete Rose. 35 is a strikeout as Bob Boone takes a mighty cut and comes up empty on a Ken Forsch fastball. Brings up lefty Steve Carlton. A 15 is going to be another grounder. This one is a little too hopper to third. No problem at third base for Enos Cabell as he makes a good throw to first base, and that'll bring up Pete Rose. Pete Rose with a triple. It's a triple if this is an 8 or greater, and it is, and he rips one into the corner, and he slides in safely with a 3-bagger. So Pete Rose with a 2-out triple. He's now 2 for 3. And that brings up Bate McBride. McBride with a double in his first at bat. He gets hold of this one out into left center field. It's deep, but it is playable. And that's going to be out number 3 as the left fielder Jose Cruz makes the play near the warning track. So Philadelphia gets a man to third base on the Pete Rose triple, but they can't bring him in. And that's going to take us to the top of the 5th inning. We're still tied at 1. A pitcher's duel here between Steve Carlton and Ken Forsch. It'll be Forsch up to bat first for the Astros. 25 is going to be a fly out. That is to straightaway left field. Let's check the error on that. No error in left. And it's Luzinski. Reaches up and makes the catch. Coming in a few steps. Back to the top of the order, Rafael Landeskog. Landeskog is 0 for 2. 24 is going to make him 0 for 3. He's got a couple of strikeouts now. As Steve Carlton with his 4th strikeout of the game. And Enos Cabell stands in. He's one of those strikeout victims. A 13, he gets Wood on it and hits it to the shortstop. No problem for Larry Boa as he wings it over to first, and that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Steve Carlton. Takes us to the bottom of the 5th, still tied at 1. Ken Forsch in the game. He's facing off against the middle of the order, Schmidt, Luzinski, and Trio. A 26 is going to be a base hit for Mike Schmidt. He sends one through the hole on the left side, and he'll be standing at first base with nobody out. We're going to try to steal with Schmidt. Try to get something going here for the Phillies. 1-6, and he's going to be safe at second. It's a 4, and Mike Schmidt in with the steal. Not sure how many he had. It was 12 for 17 in the stolen base department. So a timely thief, but he takes second base. He's now in scoring position for Greg Luzinski. Luzinski 0 for 1. He walked in his last at bat, but here he's got a 13. That's going to be a ground out, and that grounder goes right back to the pitcher. Pitcher looks Schmidt back to second, and he throws to first for out number 1. Manny Trio to the plate. A 24 is going to be a ground out. This one is a little tapper in front of the plate. The catcher is going to make the throw. Moving over to third on the fielder's choice is Mike Schmidt. And we got a runner at third base with 2 down, and Gary Maddox coming to the plate. Maddox 0 for 2, and he's going to be 0 for 3 here as he grounds out to first. Taking it to first base himself is going to be Art Howe as he waves off the pitcher, and Philadelphia strands another runner in scoring position. That's been the name of the game for these two stud starting pitchers, as Carlton versus Forsch is living up to the billing. Carlton will face off against Jose Cruz, Cesar Cedeno, and Art Howe in the 6th. We're tied at 1 in the 1980 NLCS. This is a fly out into right center field. It's deep, but it is playable, and the catch there is made by Bake McBride in right center field. Jose Cruz now 0 for 3. Cedeno up, he's 0 for 1. 26 though is going to be a base hit. That is down the left field line, and we'll see about an error on the left fielder. Luzinski is able to corral it and get it back in, and Cesar Cedeno is at first. We're going to go ahead and try a steal with him. He's already got 1 stolen base today, so he's a 1-7 to make it. Let's see if Bob Boone can stop him, and he can't as he slides in just under the tag, and he's now 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Houston's got a runner in scoring position for Art Howe. Howe with 1 RBI single already, but here he's going to strike out as he swings through a Carlton curveball. Gary Woods, the last hope for Houston, runner in scoring position. A single would score him, and instead he is going to take the walk. 3rd walk of the game for Carlton. Only a 7% walk percentage for Carlton, so not a huge problem for him, but we got runners at first and second now with 2 outs and Pujols to the plate. A 15 is going to be a grounder as he hits a 2-hopper to the third baseman. No problem at third for Schmidt as he'll get it over to first base for out number 3. 2 more stranded from Houston, and we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is tied at 1, and it'll be Boa, Boone, and Carlton against Forsch. 12 is going to be another ground out, and that'll be to the third baseman. Bake McBride comes in. He takes it on the short hop, makes a good throw, and gets the speedy Boa at first. Bob Boone to the plate now. Boone is 0 for 2. 15 is going to be another grounder as this one is pounded to the shortstop. No problem for Reynolds as he makes a good throw to first. And Steve Carlton to the plate. This will be a fly ball as he tags this one out to deep right field. Going back on it to the wall is going to be the right fielder Woods, and he's going to reach up and make the catch just in front of the wall as Steve Carlton gives it a ride, but ultimately that lands in the glove for an out. So we head to the top of the 7th inning. It is Houston 1 and Philadelphia 1. It is Steve Carlton still on the mound. He can go 32. He's not even to 27 yet, so still got some gas in the tank. A 34 to Craig Reynolds is going to be a single. That's going to be hit right up the middle. Let's see if there's an error on the center fielder. There's not. So Reynolds stands at first base, and we're going to get a we're going to get one more inning out of Forsch. So let's go ahead and lay down a bunt. 1 or 2 is successful. It's an 8, and that's a good sac hit. Both pitchers able to help themselves with sacrifices, and that puts a runner in scoring position for Rafael Landistoi. Landistoi 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. This time he's going to ground out to the shortstop. Shortstop Boa is going to look back the runner, and the runner will hold at second as he throws a strike across to first. Landistoi is out number 2. We're in the top of the second, tied at 1. We got a runner in scoring position for Enos Cabell. Cabell is going to strike out though, as he gets caught looking. Fastball on the corner, beautifully placed by Steve Carlton, and Carlton strands the runner at second base. And we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is tied at 1. Pete Rose up. He is 2 for 3. A 45 is going to be another base hit, as this one is hit over the shortstop's head. Let's see if there's an error in left field. There's not. So Pete Rose is aboard with a leadoff single. Brings up Bake McBride. A 44 to Bake McBride. It's going to be a walk. And the real question is, how long do we stay with Forsch? Forsch right now is at his stamina. Doesn't affect anything, but we're going to let him face Mike Schmidt and see what happens. That's a bad move. Schmidt with a rope into left center field. That's going to be a long single. That pushes 1 run home. And that's going to push the runner at first, Bake McBride, to third. Because Schmidt is a 6 or greater, he's going to turn that into a hustle double. And it's Mike Schmidt with the RBI double that gives the Phillies the lead. Let me go ahead and bring in a new pitcher for Houston. New pitcher for the Astros is Dave Smith. 7-5 with a 1.93 ERA. Typically he's a closer, but this feels like a closer situation. We got runners at second and third, nobody out, and 1 already in for the Phillies. Phillies looking to add on. This is going to be a foul out, and that's fouled down the left field line. Coming to the line is Jose Cruz. He's going to catch it in foul territory. That's going to be out number 1, and the runners hold. Brings up Manny Trio. A 25 to Trio is going to be a fly out. That goes to center field. No error on the play. So we're going to go F8. And we're going to try to score this run from third base. So this is Bake McBride trying to come in. 1-6, he'll be safe at home. Oh, and he gets thrown out at the plate. Wow. So the center fielder, Cedeno, with a laser beam. And that guns down Bake McBride at the plate trying to score. Philly gets 1, but that's all they can get out of it. That might be a key inning for them. We'll have to see about that. Carlton is still out there, 27, 28, 29 batters. So he's still at his strength. 24 is going to be a strikeout. So he strikes out Jose Cruz, looking for the first out of the 8th. 2-1 our score now, Philadelphia over Houston. A 55 is going to be another strikeout. So if you go back to the last inning, that's 3 Ks in a row. 3 looking, and Cesar Cedeno is now 1 for 3 with a single. Art Howe to the plate. A 23 is going to be a ground out. That goes to the shortstop. No error on the play, as Boa makes a nice play at short. He gets it over to first, and that's a 1-2-3 inning in the 8th for Steve Carlton. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Dave Smith against Maddox, Brown, and Boone. A 25 is going to be a fly out that goes to center field. No error on the play. And it'll be Cesar Cedeno with the catch in center field. Brings up Larry Boa, the shortstop. 14 is going to be a walk to Boa. First time getting on base for Larry Boa. He's a 1-6. Let's go ahead and try to steal with him. 60% is okay. He's in there for the steal. And Larry Boa slides in safely. He's now in scoring position for Bob Boone. A 26 is going to be a ground out with an error check. So grounded hard to Enos Cabell. Cabell makes the play. He looks back the runner at second base, and he makes a good throw to first to get Boone. We're going to get a pinch hitter for Steve Carlton, and then we'll bring in Tug McGraw. I think Greg Gross actually came into the game, so why not? So Greg Gross will be pinch hitting in the 9th or the 8th. And I'm not sure if he's a lefty. That's what it's showing me. He's a -4. And we get there. Steve Carlton goes 8 innings and gives up only 1 hit in this one. This will be a ground ball from Gross as he hits it to first base, and no problem at first base with a little flip to the pitcher. That's going to end the inning, and the Phillies don't score in the 8th. So we go to the top of the 9th inning. Going to get a new pitcher. This is going to be Tug McGraw coming in for the Phillies. There he is. McGraw, 20 saves. He came into this game and pitched 2 innings for the save. I'm going quickly because I'm trying to squeeze this one in. 2.36 FIP. Wow. So 8 innings for Carlton. 1, 2, 3, 4. He gives up 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strikeouts. So really nice start for Steve Carlton. And McGraw is going to face off against Woods, Pujols, and Reynolds. A 26 is a ground out, and that is a grounder to second base, and that'll be out number 1, as Woods is the first out of the inning. Brings up Luis Pujols. Pujols 1 for 2. He had a double earlier. He's going to walk here as he gets in. He gets on base in the 9th, and that'll bring up Craig Reynolds. Reynolds 1 for 3. He's going to ground out here, but it's going to move the runner along as it's a little tapper to short. The only play for Boa is over to first, and the fielder's choice is going to put a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And we're going to get a pinch hitter here. Let me check out. It was Jeffrey Leonard came into the game. Actually, Terry Poole. Terry Poole's the guy, right? So let's get Forsch out of there. And Terry Poole is going to come in, and he is the last best hope for the Astros. Let's see if he can come through with a pinch hit in the 9th inning. Lefty batter facing a left-hander. It was kind of unorthodox that they did that, but they did bring in their best hitter off the bench. So Terry Poole, last chance here, facing off against Tug McGraw. Will McGraw stifle him, or will Terry Poole come through? 56 is going to be a walk to Terry Poole. So the inning continues. We got runners at first and second with Landestoy coming to the plate. Landestoy is going to be pinch hit for by Jeffrey Leonard. Marginally more power, but definitely a right-handed bat. This was a move that was made. And he is a +7. So let's see if Jeffrey Leonard can come through for the Astros. A 24, that's going to be a strikeout. So Jeffrey Leonard strikes out swinging. That's the 3rd out. And Tug McGraw shuts the door that is a 2-1 victory for the Phillies over the Astros. Not a lot of time to break this one down, but we'll come back with more maybe at the beginning of game 2 where I talk a little bit more about this game. But Philly comes through 2-1. They had a go-ahead double from Michael Schmidt. That was a hustle double as he brought in Pete Rose back in the 7th inning, and that's the deciding run of the game. So Philly takes a 1-0 lead over the Astros, and we'll come back soon with game number 2. This is a replay of the 1980 National League Championship Series. This is played with on-base baseball. You can get on-base at clarkandaddisongaming.com, so just go there and check out baseball and then on-base, and then you'll be able to find all of the on-base seasons that are available. It's a terrific game, sort of a cross between APA and Strat Basic, and you get every player that played in the season. They're carded, but you also get the roster sheet sets, which is a different way to play with the same players and the same values. So go check that out, and got to get going, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.